Hi everyone! If you're new here, I'm Allen with Earthglow, and this channel is all about sharing the joy of candle making. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing and giving you my out-of-the-bottle first impression on CandleScience's brand new 2023 Spring and Summer collections. And if you know anything about me, you know that fragrance videos are my absolute favorite to film. But anyways, let's get right into today's video, and I hope that you enjoy. I'm really excited to smell these. I know that CandleScience's previous launches, they have had some of my favorite fragrances of last year that I smelled. And let me know if you all would like me to do a video on those specifically, on which ones were my favorites after I tested. I did test most all of the other two launches that CandleScience did last year. But anyways, so I think there's going to be 6 scents in here. And these were sent to me by CandleScience, but this video is in no way sponsored or affiliated. And as you all know, I give my honest opinion on this channel on fragrances, for better or for worse. But this first one here is strawberries and cream. And I feel like that sounds like such a good scent for the summertime. And then this one is called Coffee Shop, which is interesting because they already have, well, they have hazelnut coffee already and they have fresh coffee. So I'm curious how that one will be different. And then, ooh, Lily of the Valley. So I think that this was one that I was most excited for. I absolutely love Lily as a fragrance note. I'm usually not too into florals, but this is passion fruit pineapple. Kind of scared for that one. And then we have, ooh, chamomile tea. I feel like this could potentially be a really good one for a spa collection if we are in focus. And oh my god, okay, this is the one that I think I'm most excited for, white oak and vanilla. Now, before we get into smelling any of these fragrances, I always like to put out the disclaimer that there is always the chance that a fragrance that I really like, you might not like, and there's also the chance that a fragrance that you really like, I might put on my fails list. And that is just because fragrance is highly subjective, so you do always want to do your own testing. And also, you do always want to try these fragrances in your finalized product before you make a final decision, because these out-of-the-bottle first impression videos are very fun. I know you all like them, but they are just my out-of-the-bottle first impressions. So I always like to make sure that I qualify that. I don't even know what I want to start with. Okay, I think I'm gonna be, I think I want to start with, should we start with the coffee one? I think I want to start with strawberries and cream. So I'm often not a fan of these types of scents in general. I will say that they're, the black cardamom and cream, that was one of my favorite fragrances that I smelled last year. But this strawberries and cream, like in general, sometimes these types of scents can be very artificial, and I am hoping, I'm smelling something though, from a distance here, but I'm hoping that this has an authentic, maybe strawberry smell, maybe something kind of gourmand, maybe like a, oh my gosh, okay, this is not at all what I expected. I was like smelling it halfway as I was talking, so and I already whacked myself in the face with the blotter strip. But this is not at all what I expected. And blowing me over the head with the throw out of the bottle. But this out of the bottle to me smells exactly like strawberry yogurt. And like if you ever smelled strawberry Greek yogurt or strawberry yogurt, that is exactly what this smells like, which kind of makes sense to me because of the cream notes in with the strawberries. But yeah, I'm curious how this one will smell in a candle. I think that I could like it for sure, or I may not, but this one out of the bottle for me, I'm indecisive on. Okay, next up, let's take a look at this. Okay, let's do the chamomile tea. So this one, I think by the name of it, seems like it would be really good for like an apothecary line or a spa collection, maybe hopefully more of an upscale smelling fragrance. And I'm thinking that this could have maybe some lavender with the chamomile. Oh my God, and I am smelling something from here that is blowing me over the head with something good. Oh my goodness. Okay, if you've ever had chamomile tea, like I'm not talking from a tea bag, I'm talking fresh chamomile tea, loose leaf tea. So, short story, by my home in Kalamazoo, we have a loose leaf tea place, and I am able to like get loose leaf tea where they have all these jars and we can put it into a bag and that kind of a thing. This smells exactly like fresh chamomile flowers that you would put into tea. It is a gorgeous, very true to life chamomile. I also work with Roman chamomile essential oil a lot too, so I would say that this is, it's kind of like an artistic representation of chamomile, but it's very authentic, true to life, and I do also get some tea notes with this as well. It definitely has that aesthetic, and I would say that this one I would use, if the hot throw is good, I would consider adding this to my year-round spa collection. This is a really unique scent. I don't think I've smelled anything like this from any company before, and what's most impressive to me about it is how prominent the throw is out of the bottle. Usually with those types of like softer scents, tea scents, I know CandleScience a couple years ago released a lavender tea and tonic, and that one was not one of my favorites at all. This is nothing like that. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous, decadent, like gourmet tea, and I actually would be curious how this would smell blended with something like the black cardamom and cream, because I feel like, you know, like a tea latte type of a scent with a little bit of spice to it. I don't even know if that would work, but I'm just curious how those two might go together. Okay, next up, let's take a look at coffee shop. Now, I worked extensively with fresh coffee. That is my Uncommon Grounds candle. Are we even focusing? I still haven't figured out this camera. But yeah, Fresh Coffee by CandleScience is my Uncommon Grounds candle in my artisan collection. So it is a part of my year-round collection. And Hazelnut Coffee is a fragrance that I initially did not like by CandleScience, but I've ended up using it. Oh my God, and I'm smelling something from a foot away again on this. But what I was saying is Hazelnut Coffee I ended up using in cold processed soap blended with Brambleberries Espresso, and I also have blended it with Midwest coffee fragrance, whatever that one's called. I'll put the name up on the screen. But I'm curious what this coffee shop is, and I'm already smelling something that reminds me very much of a coffee shop. So this one I would say is definitely more similar if you've smelled the Flaming Candle. I think it's called Coffee House by the Flaming Candle. This has a caramel note to it. It's got a nutty note to it as well. It reminds me of the hazelnut coffee, but it's not as sweet. I think that this is very true to name, be called Coffee House. Oftentimes when you walk into a coffee shop, you are filled with like the smell of coffee beans, but maybe they're also making lattes, and maybe they've got some baked goods, some biscotti, some pastries, and this captures the essence of all of that. Now, my complaint with Flaming Candle's Coffee House is that the throw is not at all what I would have wanted in my 464 Soy, is how I tested that one. It was actually the first coffee fragrance I ever tried, and I was not happy with the hot throw. But this one, I have high hopes for, and I'm excited to do some further testing. Unfortunately though, I do see that this cannot be used in soaps, and again, CandleScience, why? Because your fresh coffee also can't be used in soaps, and I think that that's a real bummer. So they do put on these bottles the usage rates for soaps, and so it is definitely a shame to me that this can't be used. Let's take a look at the Passion Fruit Pineapple. And I have a feeling whenever I see these double citrus fruity names, I'm a little nervous because these are ones that I'm usually very highly critical of, and as I said, I give my honest opinion, for better or for worse, on this channel of fragrances. So I'm thinking this is probably gonna smell something like a candy, and then I'm not gonna like it, but here we go with passion fruit pineapple. And it does not smell like a candy, but what this does smell like is something that I used to get at Bath & Body Works when I was a kid, and I don't know the name of it anymore. However, I do like the scent. I do remember this being one of the products that I liked more that I would get, and I think that this would be a fragrance that a lot of people would like. And I've said this before about White Grapefruit Acai by Stone Candles. It's a very popular fragrance, but to me it smelled more like something that I had as a kid from Bath & Body Works that was in a spray foam can. And to me, that's how this fragrance smells too. However, it's very, very potent out of the bottle, and I think that this fragrance would be very, very well liked. I specifically, you should know, am highly critical of certain types of fragrances because they're not ones that I'm more drawn to. But this particular one, like, I have no opposition to it, and I think that it would do very well. I think that if you like Moonflower Nectar, which is a really popular scent, that you would also like this one. And I do like Moonflower Nectar, and I probably will test this passion fruit pineapple in some wax as well, because I think that, you know, the mango and coconut milk is so popular. Some people get it at CandleScience, some people get it at Midwest. But this is along the lines of something like that, where it's just, you can tell right when you smell it that you get the passion fruit, you get the pineapple, and there's something about it that almost smells soapy. And you can use 2 to 5% of this in soaps, by the way, and I will put up on the screen the behavior if CandleScience has provided that information for cold processed soaps. But yeah, so I look forward to doing more testing with this, and I definitely would not say that it smells like a candy. It smells more like a, it's sort of a midline Bath & Body type of a product, and I'm not opposed to it at all. Let's take a look at Lily of the Valley. So I saved my favorite 2 fragrances that I'm most excited to try for last, and I have been wanting a good Lily fragrance. They are not that easy to come by. I know florals are really popular, but lilies are just not. And I grew up with Lily of the Valley in my backyard, and if anyone's not familiar with them, I'll try to put a picture up on the screen, but they are just the most gorgeous flowers, and I'm already smelling something a foot away that seems exactly like the flowers I remember growing up here. So, oh my goodness. This smells like, and I just literally am gonna be covered in the fragrance because I splashed it all over myself. But this smells like Lily of the Valley to a T, like to a T. This smells exactly like being in my backyard as a little kid and picking up these like flowers that were on these little vines, and they were all these little white flowers, and smelling them and bringing them inside and making my own little flower bouquets. Oh my God. I think that this fragrance would be phenomenal as well. I'm just checking to see the soap allowing how much percentage is allowed in soaps. Unfortunately, only 1 to 3%, but I feel like this would be phenomenal in a cold processed soap, this Lily of the Valley. And I cannot wait to try this one out in a candle and let you all know how it throws. You're already down to the last one. I am so sad, but honest to God, I am blown away already by like half of these fragrances, which for me, as most of you know, is very, very good and unusual. But this one is called White Oak and Vanilla, and everything about this fragrance sounds intriguing to me. I love the idea of oak fragrances. I've been highly critical of several of them by Nature's Garden that I thought smelled more like suntan lotion. Namely, I believe they're vanilla oak. I'll put the correct name up on the screen if that wasn't it, but that fragrance, even though it's very popular, it's just not for me. And so I'm hoping that this does not smell like suntan lotion to me personally. And I'm hoping that I get a really high-end, almost West Elm type of a vibe from this one. And again, I'm already smelling something from like a foot away that is really piquing my attention here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is high-end smelling. This is a fragrance that I would pay $70 for from 1617 or from Stone Candles. Oh my God. CandleScience blew it out of the park with this one. I think that there's also some patchouli in this from what I can tell. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I'm definitely getting a deep, dark, and mysterious fragrance that is like sending chills down my spine. But it's warm, and it's almost like, if you like Dark Crystal by Brambleberry, this one is for you. And if you like those really enchanted, mysterious fragrances, again, I always reference Twilight Woods, Into the Night, those warm, seductive vanillas. This might be one of my favorite fragrances that I have smelled in a very long time out of the bottle. Holy cow. I'm also getting a spice component to this one, but it's a very high-end spice. I would say maybe some cardamom to this one. Maybe, it's not cinnamon. It's more like a cardamom quality that I get from this one. And it may have a touch of cinnamon in it. But the vanilla is a dark, really sensual vanilla. I can see this being wonderful in soaps. It also says that 2 to 5% is allowed in soaps, and I will put the notes up on the screen in terms of the behavior, but you can also find those on CandleScience for most of their fragrances. But yeah, I cannot wait to try this. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, I think you all have been really liking. Let me know down below if you enjoy me doing this. But I've been ranking the fragrances, just out of the bottle, my first impressions. And it's interesting to kind of compare that to the hot throw results as well, because sometimes something that I really like out of the bottle, I don't like as much in a candle, but I might like it in a soap or a body butter, etc. And so anyways, I'm gonna go from number 6 to number 1. So in my number 6 position, I would probably put the strawberries and cream, believe it or not, just because to me it smells more like a yogurt, and I'm not as into that type of a scent. After that one, I would put, gosh, this is really, really, really hard, but I'm gonna have to say probably the Coffee Shop, just because you can't use it in cold processed soap, and that's really sad to me, and it doesn't strike me as anything unique, and CandleScience has really set the bar high with a lot of these fragrances to where in all the hundreds of fragrances that I've smelled, I haven't smelled anything like, I would say, the last 4 fragrances that I'm mentioning here. So yeah, I'd have to put Coffee Shop next. And then in my number 3 position, I think I would have to put the Passion Fruit Pineapple. That would be my number 4 position. And then in my number 3 position, this is really, really hard, and it's just sort of arbitrary, the ranking at this point, because the fragrances, the Lily of the Valley, the Chamomile Tea, and the White Oak and Vanilla, they are all so good to me out of the bottle. I mean, I don't even know how to really rank them, but I guess I would have to put the Chamomile Tea next, just because it doesn't have the associations that the Lily of the Valley does, of being a kid and picking those in the yard and smelling something that literally takes me right back, which is one of the reasons I love candles so much. It literally takes me right back to doing that. And of course, my number 1 fragrance, unsurprisingly, is the White Oak and Vanilla. Blowing me away, CandleScience, with this haul, and thank you so much for sending me these fragrances. Again, this video was in no way sponsored, and as CandleScience knows, I give my 100% honest opinion of these fragrances, for better or for worse. But this one, I am really kind of stunned by that I'm that taken by half of the fragrances. Well, that is gonna be all for today's video. This was really a quick one, but I hope that you did enjoy this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Stay tuned for my hot throw results. I will be testing out probably half of these fragrances at least, because I'm that intrigued by them. Especially like the White Oak and Vanilla and the Lily of the Valley scent. and the chamomile tea. Like, I cannot wait to try those out in wax and see how they perform for me. But thank you so much for watching this video again, and don't forget to tap the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from me. And I'm sending everyone peace, love, and light, and I'm wishing all of you happy candle making.